Welcome to Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. USD 489 is facing a $1.3 million budget deficit for the next fiscal year. The school district issued a news release Tuesday outlining what reductions have already been made and those that are under consideration by the school board. The district is now reviewing multiple options to further reduce the deficit. Those include an increase in the workbook and materials fee, a possible transportation fee for riding the bus within 2.5 miles of an attendance center, a possible reduction in transportation services district-wide, participation fees for activities, and other program and personnel reductions. USD 489 is also recommending a reduction of 16 certified staff. Additional reductions of classified positions are anticipated. You can read the entire statement online at Hays Post. At least 3 people have applied for the vacant seat on the Hays School Board. It was opened when Darren Shoemaker resigned his seat after a career change forced him to relocate to Manhattan. According to the April 14th agenda for the USD Board work session, Gerald Brown, Mandy Fox, and Patrick Scott have all applied for the spot. Gerald Brown is a former Felton Middle School teacher and now is a supervisor at Sunflower Child Support Services. Mandy Fox is owner of Fox Z Consulting. That's an environmental consulting business. She has 4 young children. And Patrick Scott is a retired Victoria math teacher and coach. Applicants have until April 18th to apply for the vacancy. The appointment will be made by school board members. State Representative Sue Boulder of Hays is disappointed with the school funding bill passed in Topeka this weekend. Lawmakers approved legislation adding about $129 million into state funding for poor school districts, but they also made policy changes that have educators up in arms, particularly removing due process or tenure for teachers.
I think that is what has disappointed me so much, is that these are really important issues, and if you want to talk about an important issue and you bring in conferees, testimony on either side, and then you make a reasoned decision. This is the most undemocratic part of this system, and as an old government teacher, it doesn't look anything like I used to put on the board for charts and graphs, how a bill becomes a law in Schoolhouse Rock.
Boulder is a former Hays High School government teacher. She sits on the House Education Committee and is currently a professor of teacher education at Fort Hays State. No jail time for the former president of the Trego County USD 208 Board of Education. 53-year-old John Reeder of Collier was sentenced Tuesday in Trego County District Court. According to the Kansas Attorney General's office, Reeder will serve 36 months of probation under the supervision of the Kansas Department of Corrections. He was sentenced to 22 months in custody on the charge of 1 count of distribution of marijuana and 15 months for 1 count of possession of methamphetamine. Those sentences were suspended by Judge Glenn Brown. Reeder was arrested December 20th. Shortly after that, he resigned from his school board post. Hays residents Kurt and Christy Brungart are well known for founding Janice Campaign in 2009. The project aims to end and prevent domestic violence through awareness and education. The Brungarts, both leadership professors at Fort Hays State, lost their 25-year-old daughter Janet to a relationship violence incident. As the campaign gains momentum around the country, the Brungarts feel it's time to share their memories of the young Jana Mackey. As Carrie Blurton reports, they've started a new Facebook campaign called Jana's Memories.
As awareness of Jana's campaign grows, the Brungarts are sharing memories of a young Jana Mackey, an advocate from a very young age.
When she was 11. If I were president, I would make more hospitals and more schools. I would help the poor people. I would get more teachers for the schools and make them more educational. When he was in the Kansas House. Yeah, so she was passionate about anything really that would help empower and inspire women, about safety for women, which of course is so ironic given how she died.
It's important that people learn more about Jana. We have thousands of folks around the country and around the world who follow Jana's campaign, and many of them are her friends, but many of folks never knew Jana. And so we thought it was important that we do 2 things. One is that we share some memories with her friends, but also share some memories to folks who didn't know her. And get to know our work is important. You need to know who Jana was. And through these documents and through all this information here, photographs and papers and letters, is a good way to get to know the young Jana Mackey. And it's important to realize the devastating impact of domestic violence and lives lost. And so we do this in 2 ways. One is We want you to enjoy and laugh with us as we look at these things, but also recognize the important work that needs to be done.
The bigger Jana's campaign grows, the more people that follow us. I think more people have asked me this question: do you feel like you're commercializing Jana? And I really have a strong response to that. I believe that if anyone who knew Jana understood Jana, they would never, that thought would never cross their mind, because Jana was a passionate advocate, and Jana would use information that she had to try to make things better for the people she was working for. And Jana would be furious with us if we weren't doing something with the legacy that she has left.
And I think what makes our story powerful is that we focus on a name and a face. But not just on her, she represents many folks. As we look at her memories here in front of us, we need to understand that today, 3 more families will suffer by a domestic violence fatality in this country.
From my point of view, though I'm only 10 years old, the world needs much more peace. I think peace is one of the best gifts that the world could ever receive. By Jana Mackey.
Carrie Blurton for Hayes Post.
The Brungarts will share memories and mementos of Jana for the next 6 months on the Jana's Memories Facebook page, and they encourage supporters and friends to do the same.
Your cure for the ugly bathroom is the Access walk-in tubs and Prolux bath and shower liners from Steeder Contractors at this year's Spring Expo, March 29th and 30th. Prolux gives you a brand new bathroom look with an acrylic liner that's 4 times stronger and 3 times thicker. Schedule your project during the Spring Expo and save $400 off a Prolux complete acrylic bath system from Steeders. Also, check out the Steeders selection of spas, fireplaces, eco-water and air conditioner systems at the Central Kansas Spring Expo in Great Bend.
The service you deserve, the quality you expect. Service Master Clean, Service Master of Hayes. Everything we clean, satisfaction guarantee. And we clean everything with Service Master of Hayes. Service Master, Service Master of Hayes.
This is a news update from the Salina Post. Salina voters have approved a $110.7 million bond issue for USD 305 schools. The vote was 8,779 in favor, 5,934 against. Funds from the bond issue will address numerous needs in the district, including safety and security, all-day kindergarten, and career and technical education. Also, both high schools will see improvements, and there will be construction of storm shelters at all Salina schools. A Saline County jury has convicted a man of first-degree murder in the death of a 27-year-old woman. Dane DeWeese was found guilty Tuesday of conspiracy to commit murder for his role in the April 2013 death of Kristen Tyler. Tyler's body was found just west of Salina on May 9th last year, about 2 weeks after her family reported her missing. The jury deliberated for about 2 hours before convicting DeWeese. He'll be sentenced on June 16th. Leaders of the top Kansas Teachers Union are vowing to continue fighting through November's elections against the legislature's vote on eliminating tenure. Lawmakers inserted a provision Sunday into a bill that increases state funding for public schools. That bill's now on the desk of Governor Brownback. The Kansas National Education Association said that ending tenure would limit teachers' ability to advocate for their students' best interest. The union also says depriving teachers of the administrative due process provided by tenure puts their jobs in jeopardy. Proponents of the change include conservative Republicans and a group, Americans for Prosperity. They argued the move would give local school boards and administrators more power to remove underperforming teachers and would improve the quality of public education. A federal judge has agreed with the American Civil Liberties Union that a state court should decide a lawsuit challenging Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach's enforcement of the state voter citizenship rule. U.S. District Judge Eric Milgren in Wichita returned the lawsuit Tuesday to Shawnee County District Court. The ACLU filed the case last year in state court, challenging plans by Kobach to create separate rules for Kansans using a state registration form and those using a federal form. The state form requires voters to provide documents proving their U.S. citizenship. The federal form does not. Kobach wanted the ACLU lawsuit heard by Milgren. Kansas and Arizona have sued the federal government, and Milgren last month ordered a modification of the national voter registration form. This has been a news update from the Salina Post.
Thanks, Randy. For more news and other information, go to our website, HaysPost.com. Bowl for Kids' Sake is May 5th in Hays. We'll tell you why the annual Big Brothers Big Sisters fundraiser is so important. Coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Hi, Jim Cleland, Cleland Pharmacy, Waukeeny. At the beginning of the year, it's a good time to look back the road you traveled, where you're going, where you've been, and what are you doing. We asked the computer for the 100 most popular drugs we dispensed in the year 2011 and 2013, and what did we find? We have reduced acquisition costs by 28.68%. We can lower the cost of prescriptions for you. Come in and see us. Let's talk about prescription therapy.
Stop! Where are we going?
The Sunrack!
Don't get left behind. We're waiting for you here at the Sternberg Museum, where there's always new opportunities for
Discovery under the dome.
Imagine powering all of your Wi-Fi devices seamlessly with Eagle Fusion. Your laptop, gaming system, and other electronics connect to Eagle's internet. Call 877-61-EAGLE to get Fusion for only $5 per month.
Imagine your favorite TV show following you through the house. With Eagle Fusion, you can stop your favorite program in one room and start up in another without missing any of it. Get Eagle Fusion for only $5 per month by calling 877-61-EAGLE today.
Welcome back. There are 50 Ellis County kids on a waiting list for Big Brothers Big Sisters, littles hoping to be matched up with bigs. And there are more all the time, says Executive Director Nancy Jeter. One of the organization's biggest fundraisers is Bowl for Kids' Sake, a nationwide campaign that will be held in Hays May 5th at Centennial Lanes. Last year, 349 children were served by Big Brothers Big Sisters. Nearly 1,200 children have been part of the Ellis County program in its 14-year history. During a recent fundraising kickoff lunch, Jeter talked about the home lives of some of the program participants. She related stories of neglect, filthy living conditions, hunger, and even past physical abuse.
You see them on the playground, you see them out playing, you see them on the streets, and they look like normal, everyday kids. But if I could tell you what they go home to, when those doors shut at night, and it gets dark, what they have to live with.
To schedule a team, call the Big Brothers Big Sisters office.
With a clear sky overnight, we'll drop into the upper 40s for the low with a southwesterly wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. It's going to be partly cloudy, windy, and cooler on Thursday. Our high close to 70. A few clouds and 45 on Thursday night, then 75 on Friday. From the Eagle Stormwatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dan Holliday.
And that is Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. Thanks for joining us.